What's up guys, welcome to the artclasses.com. Today we are going to talk about what kind of pencil is best to draw. It's really a hard question. It depends on what you want your end result to be and what are you using it for. So in the blog post that I post, I have this A, B, C, D, E, but actually there's more. I'm going to talk about more pencil. So we're just going to talk about a regular pencil first. This is what I use the most for like sketching to doing all kind of preliminary stuff in my sketchbook. Usually I don't use this for finished products, and it also depends. This is like the most common, and if you're going to use for the drawing, usually I use it for like quick life drawing for gesture and stuff. From HB to 3B would be really good. I like that range because it doesn't smear as much. If you use darker or higher than 3B, like 4, 5, 6B, I used to use that way back. You can get really dark, and it can be really, you can make a beautiful work because you can have a wide range of value from really black and gradation to the white one, but you don't really need that black. If you want it that dark, you might as well use charcoal. Don't use the graphite, but graphite is smoother than charcoal. Charcoal is a little bit more it's not as smooth, so it's when you paint sometimes you get stuck, especially if your paper had tooth. And if you want to use a charcoal, you want to use paper that have tooth, because if you use smooth paper on charcoal, then you wouldn't get a good result, and you have to kind of know how to utilize it. So this is probably in general purpose the best pencil to use from HB to 3B. So, and then we're going to talk about the other one. If say we can talk about lead holder, that's one of my other favorites. Oh, and one more thing, if we talk about the brand I like to use, this is what I use, Staedtler. Most of the time is you can easily find it anywhere, and the quality of it is pretty consistent. So just find a brand that you really like, then you'll be okay. It doesn't matter what brand. If you find it in the art store, not Walmart or not any grocery store, then the pencil will be good, because those are the pencil that you would find most of the artists use. They don't make any, anything. There's no such a magic pencil that you could have to go. As long as it's in the art store, it's legit. So the second one is, this is one of my favorite ones. Way back when I want to be a comic book artist. Now I do concept art for video games and some cinematic, movie pre-production. I still have this, but I don't use them as much as this one. This one I use a lot because now I use a lot of Photoshop to paint and get the concept art done. But this, I use it to get idea down in sketchbook. This one is very common among if you're in America and you're doing a comic book, usually they use a lead HB. And the reason this one is more popular than regular mechanical pencil, because you can have thickness. Because the lead is really thick. You can sharp it to really thin, and you can have it really thick. And you can, same as mechanical pencil, you can choose from HB to 2B. I think that might be the highest go, because if it's go higher than that, it's going to get really soft. So this one, if you're doing a regular comic book for American comic book, then this is the way to go, or even European comic book. So that's the one that you would want to go for if you're looking to make a comic for Marvel, for a DC, for independent comic books. That's the one they use most of the time. And now we're going to talk about the different kind of mechanical pencil, which is, this one is widely used in everywhere. They got all kinds of mechanical pencil, and the range would range from 0.7 to 0.3. 0.7 would be like thicker a little bit, and you can use this kind of pencil drawing everything. It's got a fine line. Mostly manga artists would use this, because if you see the manga comic book, if you look at the line quality, they're really thin, and they don't use much of a thick and thin to emphasize the artwork as much as if you see it in Marvel and DC, that line are thin, and it's black and white, so you can, like, you know, do the crosshatch in the black and white comic book. So if you're doing manga or drawing anime, this would be something that you want to kind of look forward to use, because it's convenient. You can find it everywhere, and you can, you know, you don't have to constantly sharpen it. On this too, I have to constantly sharpen it. I use it a lot for light drawing and sketch really quick, but I have a mechanical sharpener, so it's fine. And this one, you just, you know, put it in and go. And then it's probably better you have 0.7, 0.5, and 0.3 together. So when you do a comic page or a manga page or something, you would have like a thicker one be the outline, or it even help when you kind of draw the frame, so you can have the frame thicker without having to draw swimming line. Just get you done faster. So those are the three popular pencils to use for all kind of purpose. And the lead holder is for comic book, and regular mechanical pencil is manga and anime. It's probably good for that. And now we're going to talk about co-erase. Prismacolor, actually. Prismacolor has two types. So this is a color pencil. Prismacolor have the one that you can't erase, which is a regular Prismacolor. It's probably by far the best color pencil I find. I never use them for coloring anything that I do because it's too small for color. I like the big brush. I use brush or oil or gouache usually. Watercolor sometimes, but it's harder to use. As for Prismacolor, the regular one, I hardly ever use them. It's waxy. Sometimes you can get a really good light drawing out of it because it's got really black and shiny, so glossy and waxy. The co-erase though used to be pretty popular. I love the Tuscan Red. I use that all the time when I work on Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. Way back in the day, I worked on a game for Disney Interactive and stuff, and I was a 2D animator before I become a character concept or concept artist. So 2D, when you do a lot of 2D animator, you use a lot of color pencil to kind of get the different body part, possibly to kind of differentiate, and different character. So if you animate a different character in the same scene, so you would use a different color. And your co-erase is you can erase them, and you can have different color. If you have like black to animate, so it's kind of easier to layer the animation when you have a different color to distinguish between the character. So you can know like if that one moves right, or if that one have the right movement, or it's easier to notice. So these are the one that you kind of want to play with, draw with them, go experiment with them, but they're not for like general purpose using, but it's still pretty useful. So alright, and now we're going to talk about the rest. So in here, I forgot one thing. One sec. So now we get into the marker territory and pen. So usually if I'm gonna draw something into my sketchbook, I usually use ballpoint pen too, and uni is the one to go for me. You have to experiment with all kind of pen. They're cheap, so just draw them and throw them away. And some pen I draw pretty fast. Some pen couldn't catch up with it, so it leave like a space. So Uniball, they ran as fast as I draw. So you have to find the pen that go along with your flow. So some pen would not release the ink fast enough, and some pen would release the ink pretty fast. And depends on how it interact with the paper too. How you if it feels good, then it's gonna help you draw slightly better. So, and pen, usually when you use pen, use it with smooth paper, like a paper from the copy machine, just a regular rim paper, because you don't want to use pen on the tooth paper because it won't look good. It will get that crooked line. So or a regular sketchbook with less tooth, pen would work too. So pen is good. And also the other one I used to use a lot for design is the marker. But back in the day, it doesn't have like Copic, but nowadays it seems like Copic is pretty popular. So the way I would use this is I would have a set of either cool or warm. That's cool. This is warm. The cool one I usually use for if you design something pretty rigid like a spaceship or props or house or something. And it depends too. You could use warm for something like that. But this marker design is you design something like buildings. It's good for designing buildings and other things that have to deal with perspective a lot, or you can you can also do creature, robot, mech, or something like that. It can be pretty good. Usually I would lay down with the lower marker first, just to get the big brush stroke with the low one, and I would use a smaller micron pen to kind of draw on over. I just try to get the shape first. My approach on the marker is different from pencil, which is if I have some other time, I might make a video of that, but I have barely ever used this. But just so you know that these are basically really good for industrial design or interior design or anything that have to deal with design that have to involve with a lot of perspective. And usually I'll lay down a big marker with the low opacity marker, which is maybe number 2 or number 3 right here, and then I would go with number 5 or number 6 to get the shape of whatever I want to draw, and then I would just outline it with the micron. Sharpies, don't use that much. And also the woodless pencil, these are good too. They're just graphite. They're just like regular pencil, like from I think they have like from B to 3B. I use that for live drawing a lot. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is charcoal. Charcoal is good for you practicing value. If you thinking about become a good painter, then charcoal would be a pretty good option. So you can have a stick charcoal, or you can have vine charcoal. I think I have a picture of that. And you can have a pencil charcoal. Stick charcoal, those are vine charcoal. Vine charcoal are really brittle, so if you touch it too hard, it will break. So I don't really like vine charcoal that much. I like them like really compressed stick charcoal, and it's good for like going out and practice to do. Let's say out there, going live drawing. You go to live drawing session, you practice it with the real life, practicing light and shadow, and how to put the value range in the certain area, and practice how to see light and how to arrange the shadow. So it will make you a better painter when you practice with charcoal. You don't have enough time to like put the easel in and putting your oil paint out and stuff like that. Charcoal is very good. If you're sitting around at home, you probably don't need a charcoal. And charcoal pencil, I don't know what is it for. It's like too small for me to do. And when you use charcoal stick, please make a big pad, like 28 by 24 or something. Don't draw it in a small pad. Maybe charcoal pencil is for a small pad, but I think this charcoal pencil, I don't know, I never use them on my sketchbook. It's just too messy. It's smear everywhere. If you use it in a big pad, then keep it in a big pad, and usually you can use a spray to coat it so that it doesn't smear as much. So I hope you find this video helpful, and just go to the home page on my website and you'll find a bunch of tutorial from drawing with just for the basic for all level beginner to digital painting. So if you want to kind of jump into and learn how to do digital painting, then just by all means look at my website. There's like 400 some video, or go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Alright guys, I hope these are educational. Well, you guys have a good day. Bye bye.